I can do is do my version of Hiccup and, keep everything everybody loves about him, which is his humor, his comedy, his awkwardness, and obviously what I had fun with was adding new colors to it, which I enjoyed. If it's not broken, you can't fix it. So we can't really do much to the original, because to me, it's a perfect film. So what we did is we tried to elevate as much as we can, elevate the action scenes, the storylines, the characters, and really bring all the heart up. So I had a lot of fun with that. My biggest inspiration for it was my dog. I have a pit bull. His name's Brish, and he's my love. He's my boy, and I feel like our chemistry kind of really helped me develop, the relationship between Hiccup and Toothless, because, obviously the dragon is not real. So going into it, that inspiration helped a lot. I didn't know if I was going to be working with a tennis ball or what was going to be happening, but luckily we had an amazing puppeteering team led by Tom Welton, who I just got to see him a couple days ago in London, which is like a nice reunion. But he was my Toothless. He walked around with a foam head with eyes and a mouth that could move, so something I could touch and act with, which was phenomenal. And we got to build that chemistry, which was great.
I think the wonderful thing about this movie is that it's absolutely a film made by fans and for fans. We're all such huge fans of the original films, as we would tell Dean constantly. And it truly is a love letter to the original. So I feel like the fact that we all get to be here and do this, the brilliant thing about it is that we were able to kind of scale up some moments that Dean initially was like, I wish we'd had more time to expand on these and expand on these characters. And the wonderful gift that we had is that Dean's had 15 years to sit on this first movie and think of things he would want to do differently, and now we have a chance to do them. So it's very, very, very exciting. I hope people like it. I also watched Barbie while we were shooting, and I nearly had a panic attack because I was like, oh, okay, this is one of the most talented actresses ever, and I'm about to try and do a role that she's done. It was very stressful, but it was, Dean is an absolute ball of light and wonder and joy, and I think the fact that he had faith in me and faith in all of us kind of felt like the biggest weight off of my shoulders. So that was, he was a real helping hand in making sure that I felt comfortable and everything, and Mason and everything. The entire time we were filming, I was saying to Mason, like we would literally be in silence and I would just go like, oh, I want a dragon, all the time. And then while me and Mason watched the film in Brazil, every 10 minutes I'd be like, Mason, Toothless is adorable, because I literally couldn't get over how sweet this baby angel is. It's amazing. They did such a brilliant job at Frameworks at making Toothless come to life. It was really special. For me, at least, I think the strongest thing about Astrid isn't that she's a badass and she's really cool. I think that by leaps and bounds, the coolest thing about her is how willing and open she is to change. I think is way stronger and way more important of a message than, axe flourishes. So I think if there was any message that kids could take away from watching it, I would love that they could see that actually the strongest thing you can do is admit when you're wrong and be open to other people's differences. It's like by miles what I would hope people see.
I think people are going to love it. I'm just excited for people to see it. Everything that they loved about the original, about 1, 2, and 3, like it's just going to be bigger. It's going to be better, but it's still the same heart, still the same joy. So this is Dean's baby, and Toothless is like Dean's favorite child, and we couldn't change Toothless. We couldn't change him. He's Toothless. He's iconic. So yeah, I'm very excited for people to see that cheeky dragon on screen. So
I think we were so lucky that we had each other, because I think it was terrifying and exciting at equal measure, but I think the fact that all my scenes were with Bronwyn, it made it feel a little bit less scary.
Yeah, and especially when we were doing all of the actual dragon flying stuff, because everybody else kind of had to be on a soundstage alone on top of a dragon, and we got to do ours together.
I've got a good photo of us holding hands like creepy twins that I need to send
like
you.
The Shining.
Yes, that was very much our vibe. But also so we were sort of meters. I'm so bad at length, but we were meters above the air doing the dragon scene. And eventually you just got so used to it. So we were just talking about what we had got getting for lunch.
Yeah.
Which is on a dragon. Yeah, because also it would be easier to just sort of leave us up there rather than de-rig. So we'd just be left up there while everyone else was sort of busying about. But we would just sort of chat endlessly. Yeah, it was gorgeous.
12 feet in the air. I think anytime you have a film or a show that kind of delves into the childhood nostalgia with a reboot or a remake, I think it is kind of like stepping on hollowed ground, and thing with this cast and this crew, like everybody, Dean, the characters in it, to the set designers, everybody, it was a film made by fans. It was made by people that are obsessed with the film, that love it as much as the fans do, and that's why I really do think like it's gonna be a bit of a standalone remake wise, because it's just so beautiful and everyone's really put their heart into it.
Everyone that was working on the film, from the set designers to the costume designers to the makeup artists, they cared so much about the story. They cared so much about Berk, about the characters. And I think Dean being at the helm of that, it just, his love for it trickled down. And so, yeah, people just didn't want to get it wrong. And I think we've done something really special that I'm so excited for people to see.
I think we've done
and the
all
dragons
right.
look so cool.
Yeah.
Our one especially. Ours is the best. Ours is the best dragon. Well, just there's two for the price of one.
Two for the price of one. I love a bargain.
Love a bargain. Why wouldn't you want two heads? They can chat with each other. They can give you different advice. You got a friend for life. It's like being born with a sibling. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know how I still managed to be here. Maybe they're crazy, but I'm just glad that I am. It's always been a real honor to be a part of the franchise and love this story. It's amazing. I think with the live action, we can make it even more emotional. We could up the scales, up the stakes, and I just think the whole thing it's even more engaging. We could take it to another level with our special effects too. It's incredibly artistic, and the world building is amazing. And I having now sat through it a few times, the response has been phenomenal. So that's been a blast.
I actually grew up with the books. So the books were big, like really big in the UK. I don't know if they were as big here, but like there was like a huge thing growing up, and like it's like Hiccup's diaries, and they were like such a thing for me. And then obviously the movies are like a perfect thing, and then it's a dream come true. I absolutely adore these movies. I adore these characters. I adore Dean. I adore the music. It's just every bit of it is perfect and polished and like so dripping in heart and wonder and beauty, and I just like it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. I think it feels like real. Like you're looking something you can't sort of, I don't know, fabricate, something you can't add to it. Is like Mason is a real boy like that. So when you look at that kid's eyes, you feel real fear, you feel real wonder, you feel real love, you feel all these things, and like. There's something about the animation is so beautiful, and so, but you don't worry if he's going to be okay so much. I think with this, you're like, that fire is real, and that boy is close to that dragon, and I think it just blossoms. It's wicked.
Who would have saw that coming? I think it just turned into an amazing opportunity. The fact that Universal not only believed in How to Train Your Dragon, but believed in me as one of the directors of the original animated film. It's the first time, I think, that a studio's ever gone to one of the original creators to make a live-action version. We were really able to kind of dig into the idea that dragons are real. And if we could deliver on that wish fulfillment, our promise from the first conversation was we'll make them feel as real as every dinosaur in Jurassic Park. So they have to be part of our animal kingdom. They have to be part of this world. And by doing that, it makes it so much more experiential and kinetic and visceral, and you feel like you're up there flying with our characters. We took what everybody loved in the animated character of Toothless and then brought him into reality. So the way that he moves like a big panther, the muscles and the scales and the skin and that face and the big green eyes, we just sort of brought it into photoreality, so it feels that much more possible that you could have your own Toothless. Nico and Mason bring so much heart and soul to it, so much nuance. This live-action version gave us a chance to get deeper into Nico's character, and so we understand who she is, why she sort of has this ambition, and her whole relationship with Hiccup. And then what Mason Thames brought to Hiccup, it's just so textured, and I know what it's like to be a kid who was ridiculed and mocked, and he plays that so well on screen. You feel the emotion, and you also just feel the bravery of the character that he is, what he represents for this story.
It's just incredible. The father in the books and the movies is my father, and my relationship with my father, who I loved so much but wasn't a bit like. And so just to see this and to think that this has touched so many people, and this live action movie will go on to touch so many people. My father was an environmentalist, so the themes about the wild and looking after the wild are so important to me. And the things about listening to other people and seeing things from each other's point of view, as well as just the sheer joy of riding on the back of a dragon. It's a joyous action film. The dragon riding scenes are the best I've ever seen. But also it's incredibly moving and heartfelt. I think audiences are going to be on the edges of their seats, but I also think they're going to be deeply touched and moved.